Magic Square, Mechanical Lifeform, Light of Peace, MS-02U, also known as Optimus Prime, and this is the ultimate version of any masterpiece you can buy. There, I said it. There is no other. Forget MP44, forget MP10, forget MP anything. This is the one. And specifically the 02 Ultra, the colors are just spot on. Now, I've heard that the previous version, the EX, is really good, and it comes with a few more accessories than this one. And hey, if you already have that one, it may not be worth getting this, but if you don't have a Magic Square MP edition, this is the one to get. Get the MS-02U. This is it. Now, with that said, let me go into starting with, I've added the decal that did not come with the Autobot logo. I put that on there. That is a UV decal, and it fit very nicely on there, and I recommend you do the same if you want to keep it cartoon accurate. But moving on, it is just so good. I could not wait to start playing with this guy as soon as I got him. And what I love is just how little kibble there is on the back. It is just perfect. The only thing that's not perfect about it is the double top lights that are redundant to here, but because this is the ones that it uses in truck mode, I wish there was a way that they could have just reused these and not have these show. But other than that, it's perfect. The back end is perfect. The way that this is set up is perfect. The way that the butt flaps are integrated, it's perfect. The way that the front flaps are integrated, it's perfect. It's just perfect. So knowing that I love this figure, let me start out by saying a couple of things that are negatives, because there's no such thing as a perfect model, even though I just called this perfect. The non-perfect portions of this are that the the windshield are they're kind of scratched from the factory, and it would have just been better to just make them opaque or put cell shading or something on there. I've heard others say the same thing. And then, like everyone else, I'll probably show a picture of it here. Mine came with some red marks and stuff on here that I was able to get off, actually, with ironically, a magic eraser. If you just use a magic eraser on there, you can clean up your Magic Square Light of Peace just fine. I also had a little bit of red inside here too. I think what it is that when they put it together, the paint is still drying, and that's what's happening. Is the paint is still drying, and it touches these white parts, and they don't wait enough time. But if had they waited for it to fully cure in between the assembly process, it probably wouldn't have had that problem. But with that said, that's pretty much the only thing that I'm really, complaining about, but it wasn't much to fix that up. The articulation is just perfect. I mean, every position you put this guy. Let me get the box out of the way. By the way, the box is beautiful. Let me show you the box real quick. Here's the back of the box. You got the usual stats. I love the picture of it out in the desert in truck mode. It's just really cool. The feel of the box is good. If you're buying this, make sure you get the box. Don't let them send it to you without the box, because the box is cool. I'm going to keep this box. Now back to his articulation. I mean, just look at it. Every single position you put this guy in, it is tight. It stays in that position, and it doesn't have any issues with being too loose or having to use any nail polish or any of the other tricks to get things to stay in place. It just works out of the box the way it was meant to be. You have the usual hinges. You've got fully articulated shoulder, arm swinging. You've got the rotation here. You have the ability to pivot the elbow, and then you've got really good double jointing right here at the elbow. You've got excellent double jointing of the knees. You can kick it back. You've got great ability to kick back the leg. I mean, that you can't really ask for too much more there. And then the way that this swings forward, I just love the way that they did this, because rather than have the front skirt just simply fold open, what you do is you kind of push it in, and then the leg can actually swing in with the skirt. See that? The whole skirt swings in and out of the way, and it's got a drop down. Look at that. It's got a drop down. See that? That drop down is really nice, because that is what allows you to really get a nice upward kick. Look how high he can kick his leg here. Just perfect. I mean, you really can't ask for more when it comes to that kind of articulation. It just really knocked it out of the park with this. Everything is just, the paint is perfection. The red is the red that I would love to see every Optimus Prime have. This is red. This is the reddest red. It may not show up on camera as it does in person, but this is a really vibrant red, and it looks just like the cartoon. The white is really bright. It looks just like the cartoon. He's got, instead of a upper ab crunch, he's got a lower stomach crunch, I would say. I would call it more of a stomach ab crunch. He doesn't crunch up here like some Optimus Primes do, but it's plenty. It's a double hinged ab crunch. Look at that. I mean, he can look 90 degrees down. You can't expect any more than that. I mean, that allows for the ultimate posability. When with that, you can obviously do an upward ab crunch. And head articulation, excellent. I mean, he can actually pivot his head the way that you would see him in the cartoon. I mean, you really can't expect more than that. I would say the only negative is his downward is, it doesn't have the ability to pull this out that I can tell. So that's the limitation of his downward. But because you're able to ab crunch downward like that, you really don't need it. And it's just so well done. There's no light piping, there's no lights in his eyes, but it doesn't need it. It really doesn't. I love the color of his eyes. Let me get a close-up right here. It's a nice iridescent blue. You see that? And so the paint is spot on. I love the color of his face mask. I love the color of the blue here. All of that is spot on. The only color that kind of doesn't match the rest are his hands. They're sort of a more muted blue, but it's not noticeable. It's really nothing that I'm not complaining about it. I'm not really upset by it. The way that the Battle Axe, Energon Axe goes together is its two halves, and these are the only accessories he comes with. His Ion Blaster, the Energon Axe, and an extra head. The slightly different look. I prefer the one that's already on him. This one's kind of like a wider stance. a little bit stubbier, wider stance. I don't really like it as much, but it's an option. And it also comes with 2 adapters for the trailer for connecting to an MP44 or MP10 trailer, and it comes with this light of peace little stat card that's actually kind of cool. It's actually a plastic credit card kind of thing. It's not cardboard. I thought it was cardboard at first, but it's a strong piece of plastic. So with that, this is just amazing. The chrome that's on him, it's perfect. I love the chrome accents on the little fuel tanks and on the grill here, and I prefer that over just painting this silver. I know that on some they just paint this silver. I like that this is actual chrome, and I like the OG chrome on here too, and it really goes well with him, and I just love the details that they did on here. And you've got no seams, unsightly seams in the front like on Studio Series 86. You know, you don't have to worry about that. I just love the way that they allow the pivots to do so many different articulations without hindering, you know, his posability, and it just makes it for a very rewarding model to pose. And I think that you would agree if you had one of these. I don't know why some out there are complaining about him or not keeping theirs. I just don't think they've spent enough time with the Magic Square. If you spend some time with him and really get to know this model, it really is a work of art, and they've done an excellent job. And I know it's a little bit more expensive than others. You know, this thing here can retail for as high as $135-ish in that price range. I think I got them on a little on sale for like $115 or something, but it's worth every penny, even if you paid $150 for him. I know that some of these models can get very expensive, but this guy is worth it. So with that said, let's go ahead and convert him to a truck. Let's see his truck mode and see how that looks. Light of Peace Ultra Truck Mode, and boy does it look good. The transformation was actually pretty enjoyable. It was not a pain. It is a more complex transformation, being that this is a masterpiece, but it wasn't too difficult, and there wasn't any parts forming, and I liked that I really didn't have to worry about pieces not snapping together. Now, some have complained that some tabs don't snap together, such as back here, these pieces, but I think they've improved it. Mine snapped all together just fine. I didn't have any issues with that. There was one little section that had some extra flashing. It wasn't preventing it from going together, but the extra flashing was just unsightly, so I just got rid of it, and honestly it was really easy with just a razor blade and it came right off. Other than that, there wasn't any like flashing that was preventing this from neatly going together. And as you can see, it is well done, and I like how clean the back is. And unlike MP44 and MP10 and some of the others, the deck lid is nice and low. I like how low it is, more like a real semi rather than this like lifted up deck lid that some of the others have. I also like that with this adapter here, the one with the single notch, you can actually store his weapon. It slides right in, and it's not, you know, clipped in, but it's a place to store it. Now, one zonk to this is that it does not roll very well. It rolls not very well, and it's not because of the wheels, the pins. It's because of the rubber. The rubber is just malformed. It's rubbing against the plastic on the bottom. The rubber it actually does need some trimming, and so that is the problem. And the wheels themselves are actually high quality. This is actually die cast, and this is some coated, painted die cast. It's not chrome. It's almost like a metallic powder coated die cast. I really like the look of it. It almost looks like titanium, and it's definitely metal, but a zonk to the tires themselves. They just prevent it from rolling. It's nice and clean underneath. It's obvious that this is Optimus Prime's legs underneath, but who cares? You're not looking at that part, you're looking at the top. And the cab itself is clean. You have these little mirrors, side mirrors here, and you actually have doors. Now, unlike some versions, you cannot put any figures inside, so that's a small little negative there, but it's really not a concern. Nobody ever puts figures in these anyways. Like others have said, the mirrors are a little loose, but it's really no big deal. I mean, once you put them out into position, just leave it like that, it's fine. Everything else seems to go together pretty well. I'd say that the only loose part would probably be the rooftop here. Just a tiny bit of gappage, but it's not bad at all. It really isn't. I like the single headlight clean look here that they've got. It kind of is reminiscent to the G1 rather than on the Studio Series 86 where it has the double. This is more reminiscent to the way that you remember Optimus Prime, you know, in G1 format, when his, whoops, wrong one, when you take his fists off, you would have the head, this would essentially be the headlight, so that is a callback to that. The colors, like I said before, they're spot on. I like the little translucent yellow reflective part here. It's not over the top, it's just enough to give it that little extra pizzazz. And then you have the nice big chrome fuel tanks back there. And overall, I think it looks really good. Tail lights, you know, are believable, and you don't have any open areas, exposed cavities or anything like that. This is nice and enclosed. Also something I didn't realize was that the smokestacks actually extend when you put in truck mode. You're supposed to pull them up, and it gives it that extended smokestack look. But overall, the colors are all matched. There's not a differentiation of colors here. It just looks right. And then inside the wheel well, it's a nice little silver in there, and they painted the windshield wipers and whatnot, so it's good. I'm happy with this. It's a cab, and I don't have, unfortunately, a trailer that will fit it, but just to give you an idea of what it would look like, this trailer actually sort of barely fits it. But if you had the correct trailer from MP44 or something similar, it would definitely look a lot better. Alright, so let's convert him back into Autobot mode and give my final thoughts. Okay, some of my final thoughts on the Magic Square Optimus Prime Ultra Edition. I really like this figure. The transformation, if I would have known how to do it, would have been smoother, but actually going from robot mode to truck mode was pretty good. Going back without instructions was a little bit iffy, but that was all because of my lack of experience of transforming this guy. I think once I get used to it, it'll be a lot easier, but it wasn't horribly difficult. I do want to point out some things I didn't mention, such as he does have individual double hinged articulated fingers, so each finger is individually articulated, so he can point, he can give you the peace sign, he can give you the Vulcan live long and prosper. This is nice. His fingers are definitely well articulated. Also, in the palm of his hand, there's a notch for his ion blaster. It will clip in very nicely, and you don't have to worry about it slipping out of his hand once you get it on there, which is nice. So you can see that even with it open in the palm of his hand, it stays. And I think that Magic Square did an excellent job with this guy. Other than not being able to roll in truck mode, a couple little blemishes when you pull him out of the package on his thighs and whatnot, which can come off with some little bit of magic eraser. It's actually a really good quality control. You know, it's not a perfect quality control, but it is really good. I love the colors, I love the chrome, I love the little die-cast wheels and a couple other die-cast pieces that are on this. I do like the extendable smokestacks for truck mode. The face sculpt is pretty good. I do like the fact that they give you an option of a second one. And it's just a very clean layout. His posability is excellent, and he's able to really get into just about any pose that you could think of. And I would assume that this guy is probably one of the best posing Optimus Primes out there. And I think that as far as a masterpiece goes, this is as good as it's gotten so far. I think that this is about perfection as you're going to get right now. Yes, it's not 100% perfect, but it is pretty darn close. And this is now my top dog for the Optimus Prime masterpieces. I think that this is the one to have. I think that for any larger Optimus Prime, just go with this one, unless you absolutely need to have a Studio Series. Obviously, I say don't pass up on Studio Series 86, but I just think he looks even better than Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Now, this is MD-005, which is actually, to me, the best KO Studio Series, but unless you absolutely have to have this scale, just go with the Magic Square. Now, with that said, he is pretty closely tied as my all-time favorite Optimus Prime so far with Optimus Warrior, which is the KO of Missing Link. This is still my number one Optimus Prime that I will cherish always. This is the one that put a tear to my eye. This is the one that is, to me, the G1 OG, the best of the best, full die cast. This thing rocks. But as far as needing something larger, this is the one to get. If you have both of these and you have no other Optimus Prime, you are complete with your Optimus Primes. You really don't need to get any other Optimus Prime as far as G1 looks. You know, this is toy G1, amazing, and this is animated G1, amazing. And really, what more could you ask for? I mean, you have everything spot on this as far as animated G1 goes, and you have everything spot on this one as far as toy version goes. And if you've got these two, you have the best of the best, in my opinion. And I hope that Tomy Takara and Hasbro step up their game and come out with stuff like this, because these KOs are really getting good, and these two are just as close to perfection as it gets. And how could you ask for more? I mean, if it gets any better than this, I'm just going to be blown away. But right now, I will never get rid of these two figures. These are my grail pieces as far as Optimus Prime goes, and I never knew it until I got them. I didn't know I wanted these until I got them, and now I don't know how I could ever have a collection without these two. So with that said, enjoy the poses that will follow, and happy collecting.